Hello, I would like to show you why I use GraphQL and recently I'm switching to Hasura. Why it's different and how it's different from REST API, because you see people like to repeat like you have Swagger, it's the same thing, but it's not. And let me show you. So first we have tables from which Hasura can automatically derive API, and this API is extendable with different approaches to extend it. But for now, let's see. So I can, for example, I can find testimonials, and it will autocomplete. It will show me all types are necessary right here. And if I don't know, I don't know what it accepts, I can go here and it will automatically show me all the types. So I can test my queries here, I can test them in Postman, I can test them in standalone sandbox, and that's one thing. And another thing is that it's possible to export this API schema to a file like this. It's a huge file. You would never write manually something like that, right? Thousands of lines of code for just a couple of tables, because it accounts every case. It doesn't support all possible SQL queries and aggregations. You can make custom endpoint for that or custom server. It's not forbidden, but it can generate a lot of stuff you would write manually. But what is even more cool about this is that this file can be integrated with IDE, and now if I write my query here, right in the code, if I make some mistake, it's highlighted and it shows me the error. So everything here is type safe, and I don't think there is anything like that for Swagger. So in the best case, it's documentation. You can only guess if it's synchronized or not with the real code on front end and back end, and this stuff is required. Like it will be synchronized unless you forgot to export the schema, but it's configurable if your CI/CD. If you use CI/CD, this will be synced in sync, and after that you will never make errors related to API. And when you use TypeScript, you probably know that most of errors come from the API layer. You rarely make typos. TypeScript fixes you, but it's usually TypeScript doesn't know your API all that good. There are different tools, of course, which could be mentioned, like TRP is another cool tool which makes your API layer type safe, but it requires your backend and frontend to be written in the same language, TypeScript, meaningly. And it's not appropriate for many projects which already have their backends written in different languages, or they're going to write it in different languages for some reason. So it's not a universal tool, and Hasura obviously is not universal either, but I just wanted to show you what modern development can look like. It can be much more convenient than you used to. And if you're still like writing your front end in Redux, your backend in Swagger, you are probably not using all the benefits of modern tools. As a bonus point, I will add that there are already some libraries which can read your GraphQL endpoint and generate not only TypeScript types from that endpoint, from that GraphQL types. They can even generate Zod schemas. It will look kind of like this. And if you don't know what Zod is like a validation tool which automatically gives you TypeScript types. So they propose you to not define TypeScript types in many cases and define Zod schemas instead, because in this case you can have validation in both static and dynamic realms, which is very cool when you need to parse data or write some scripts. I don't know. Static only does not always, it's not always enough. So it would look like this. You have some schema, this is auto-generated, and this types, I don't know, I guess it can be also auto-generated depending on how this tool is configurable. You have TypeScript, you have dynamic validations, you can use them for forms or whatever. So everything is derived from something else. In case of Hasura, you define tables, from which tables API can be generated and is generated. From this API, GraphQL schema can be generated. From this GraphQL schema, Zod schema can be generated, and from this Zod schema, there is no not even a step necessary to get TypeScript types. It's just a single line of code. So you see, it's like automation and automation in square. You would like waste months of coding where I can waste a week doing the same task because I use high-level tools and you use lower-level tools, and we are writing at the same speed, for example. I suggest you to give a look to these newer tools. They are worth it.